The boys took the superhero world and flipped it on its head and gave us some of the greatest villains and anti-heroes out there, and some seriously powerful characters too. So from heroes who turned into villains and villains who turned into heroes, everyone in between, here are the most powerful characters from the boys in Gen V, ranked from weakest to strongest. We don't really know much about Ladio, except that he used to be Tech Knight's sidekick, and you really don't want to be Tech Knight's sidekick. And then there's Rufus, a student at Godolphin University. Rufus has psychic abilities and can enter into people's minds and control them. Of course, there's a lot of potential there, but seeing as how Rufus mostly just uses his powers to take advantage of people, well, he can only go so high on the list. Swado used to be a member of the superhero team Payback, and had the power to create wings out of his back and fly around like a bug. And because he's an idiot, he'll use his powers and fly around in an active war zone, which caused him to immediately be seen and get himself and basically his whole team killed. The Incredible Steve faced off against Golden Boy during an exhibition match. While he puts up a good fight at first, he really doesn't stand much of a chance against the top-ranked hero at God U. He throws some good hits, but just to really make his point known, Golden Boy straight up tore Steve's arms clean off. Good thing he's got a healing factor. Webweaver is a lot like Spider-Man. If Spider-Man was just a perv who was into some really weird stuff. He's able to shoot out webs out of his butt, and as for his powers, well, that's about all we saw from him. And we probably won't be seeing him again after Homelander got his hands on him. Tech Knight is a former student of God U, who's gone on to host shows, star in movies, and become a cultural icon. His super strong senses of deduction, sight, and smell make him extremely intelligent and a powerful supe, but he primarily uses it to just gain attention, grow his audience, and make himself even richer. Basically, he's more interested in self-promotion rather than using his powers to actually help people. He's also into some really weird stuff. Blind Spot is a superhero a lot like Daredevil. He might be blind, but he's got incredible senses and is a skilled fighter. He was brought in as a replacement in the 7 for Translucent, mostly in order to try and boost Vaught's public image. However, he never quite officially made the team, mostly because Homelander isn't about to let a DEI hire get in his way and quickly put him out of commission. Love Sausage is definitely something. He can throw his love sausage around and it's superhumanly powerful, able to effortlessly knock out a guy with just one hit. And for some reason, well, MM just can't stop running into this guy. Just got some real bad luck there. Maverick is a legacy supe at God U. He's the son of Translucent, a former member of the 7, and just like his dad, he has carbon skin that grants him the ability to become invisible. And it's also very weird that he was walking around naked for the entire show. Popclaw got her name from the claws that she's able to shoot out from her wrists and use as weapons, but what she's best known for is her relationship with A-Train and for abusing Compound V alongside him. Blue Hawk has superhuman strength and durability, to the point where he can kill a man with his punches. But he's not really the best supe, he's kinda a massive racist, and so A-Train killed him by dragging him down a road, leaving him smeared on it for miles. Gunpowder used to be Soldier Boy's sidekick, and a lot like Eagle the Archer, well, his superpower is just super accuracy. Really, the only reason he's higher here is because he uses guns instead of a bow and arrow. And he really is a good shot. But again, just being a good shot is a superpower that's only going to get you so high up on the list here. Alex, aka Supersonic, is a supe and was a member of the 7 for a short while. He's superhumanly strong, but his main power is generating sound waves when he claps his hands together, sort of like the Hulk with his thunderclaps. However, while these sonic waves are powerful, they aren't lethal, which made it pretty easy for Homelander to kill him. So it's safe to say that his strength can't be matched up with the big boys on top of this list. Emma Mayer, or Little Cricket, is a social media superstar because of her powers. She can shrink down in size till she can actually crawl inside someone, and the opposite is true too. She can grow in size as well. And while we have seen limitations with her powers with the season finale, well, it's possible that those limitations might no longer be there. Ezekiel is the leader of all the Christian superheroes, out there preaching about Christ while simultaneously being an awful person. He's also basically a knockoff of Mr. Fantastic or Plastic Man or Elastigirl. Basically, he can just stretch his body around and is super elastic. Translucent is a member of the Seven and has the ability to turn completely invisible. But his skin is also carbon, making him superhumanly strong and able to easily beat some people up, and makes him superhumanly tough and dang near impossible to kill. Near impossible, but with enough persistence you can put him down. Firecracker has been Starlight's rival since they were kids, and while she ventured off into a weird conspiracy world for a little while, Firecracker eventually made her way onto the Seven too, where she developed a very, very weird relationship with Homelander. She would literally do anything for the man. Firecracker's powers are really kinda lame. She can create sparks by snapping her fingers. Not too much to it. And while she's got some levels of superhuman strength and durability like all other supes, she's actually kinda lacking in that area too. Starlight whooped her butt on live TV. Butcher was able to knock her out with one hit. Kamiko beat her in their fight. There's a reason why Firecracker usually just resorts to shooting her gun around instead of using her powers. The TNT twins used to be superhero twins and members of Payback, but now as adults, well, they just get super freaky at superhero sex parties. Whenever they hold hands, well, they can team up and fire up bolts of energy at enemies. It's powerful enough to kill a grown man, send him flying backwards. However, they have to be in perfect unison to do it, and after years of not using their powers or really working together, well, all they could generate was just a few sparks. Crimson Countess was originally a member of Payback, but she helped to betray Soldier Boy, and so then became one of the main people he tried to kill. She's a powerful supe who has the ability to create fireballs with her hands, but she's also pretty easy to beat. You just tie up her hands and she's instantly overpowered. The shapeshifter assassin had to have been revealed in just the most disgusting way. Her powers work by basically wearing other people's skin in order to shapeshift into someone else. Well, she has to literally tear off her own skin. Absolutely disgusting. They're superhumanly strong and tough, although can still be overpowered by other supes, but it's really just the unpredictability here. You never know who you're fighting. You never know where they're coming from. They can be your best friend or even yourself. After Homelander killed Black Noir, well, Vought had to keep the brand going and unveiled Black Noir 2.0, mostly because they just had a lot of Black Noir toys and t-shirts and movies that they couldn't let go to waste. He doesn't really know what he's doing here and doesn't entirely understand who Black Noir was even supposed to be, but he's superhumanly strong, he's incredibly tough to the point where he can take minigun fire, and the new Black Noir can even fly. But he's not allowed to do it in public because it would ruin his image. Nakib is a supe who's also known to be a Syrian extremist, but in actuality, oh, that's not the case. He was really a supe made for one purpose and one purpose only: to deliberately attack American soldiers so the USA can establish a ground rule of enrolling supes into the army. Nakib can produce powerful explosions from his body, basically acting like a human bomb. He's also very durable, he's even bulletproof. However, he was easily beheaded by Black Noir. Andre Anderson is the son of Polarity, and he shares his dad's powers and power of magnetic manipulation. However, unlike his dad and like a true superhero, Andre does have a strong sense of justice, seeking to prove his friend's sanity and uncover the dark secrets at God U. The Deep is both a former member of the Seven and a current member of the Seven, actually one of the last remaining members too. Being the Lord of the Seven Seas, the Deep is obviously at his best while he's under the water. He's also very strong on land, like surprisingly strong. Then, just like Aquaman, well, the Deep has aquatic telepathy as well, allowing him to talk to all the marine life around him. This really isn't as pleasant a superpower as you might think, and the Deep uses it in some rather weird ways. Lamplighter was a former member of the Seven, and when he was kicked out of the team, well, it was Starlight who was brought in to replace him. He's got the power of pyrokinesis. He's actually maybe the most powerful pyrokinetic in the whole world, and has no problem with burning people to ash, killing other supes with his flames, and even destroying whole buildings. However, there are a few catches to it. He can't actually create fire on his own, meaning he's always got to carry a lighter around him at all times. And somehow he isn't fireproof or immune to his own flames? Seems like a design flaw with that one. Kamiko originally started up just being caged up like a feral animal, but we quickly learned just how deadly she could really be. She's basically a living, walking weapon. The boys adopted her and she's become the team's muscle and their most formidable fighter ever since. She's got superhuman strength, speed, durability, and a pretty impressive healing factor too. In fact, she could heal almost as fast as she's injured. Her healing factors even brought her back from the dead multiple times. Every superhero team needs their stealthy ninja assassin. They need their Batman. And for the Seven, well, it's Black Noir, the deadliest member of the team. He's proven himself to be one of the world's most lethal fighters, a dangerous assassin, and has some incredible powers: super strength, speed, agility, and an amazing healing factor. He's also just got incredible pain tolerance. But while he might have been able to survive a devastating fight with Soldier Boy, Black Noir couldn't make it past Homelander, and was finally put down for good, even though the mantle did live on. Huey might have only had superpowers for a little while there, but when he did, well man, he was seriously, surprisingly powerful. Like Temp V really worked well for him. He was able to instantly teleport, just with the massive downside of leaving his clothes behind and showing up in the new spot completely naked. But he's also really strong and tough, strong enough to stagger both A-Train and even Homelander himself with his attacks. Kate Dunlap's power is unique and incredibly powerful, as she's got the ability to convince people to do her bidding just by speaking to them. And while this definitely seems like a great power, and it is, there's really just one massive catch. Kate's gotta actually make physical skin-to-skin contact with the person, otherwise her powers won't work. And you really just have to look at the season finale of Gen V to see just how dangerous and powerful Kate is. She was manipulating everyone around her into doing her bidding, even other supes. And yeah, she was eventually put out of commission, but still, the ability to make people do whatever you want is a crazy dangerous power to have. Because of Compound V, Jordan Lee is able to switch from male to female and back, with each one having a different power set. The female Jordan can send out controlled blast of energy, while the male Jordan loses out on that. They have superhuman strength and near invulnerability in this form. They're one of the most powerful heroes at God U. He even went toe-to-toe with Golden Boy before his death. Starlight joined the Seven and sincerely wanted to be a superhero, help others, and save the world. Unfortunately, it's kinda hard to honestly do that when you're a member of the Seven and live in the universe of the boys. Luckily, she was able to become friends with Queen Maeve, and the two of them were actually able to be real heroes and take down some real villains, like Stormfront and Soldier Boy. Starlight is able to absorb ambient electricity from all around her, which she's then able to turn a concussive blast and bolts of light, which she can shoot all around. It's possible, maybe even probable, that Starlight is more powerful than we've seen, and maybe her self-confidence has been holding her back. But as of right now, I think this is a fair spot for her on the list. Once a member of Payback, Mindstorm is a telepathic supe and has lost control over these abilities over the years, which actually just makes him even more powerful and dangerous. He's able to mind control his victims and doing whatever he wants. But the scariest thing is his dream imprisonment. Look into his eyes, he can take your most traumatic memories and trap you there forever. And you'll relive that moment over and over again until Mindstorm chooses to release you. A-Train is the 7's resident speedster, easily the fastest member of the team and really only ever rivaled by Homelander himself. On top of that, A-Train isn't just running fast, but he also has superhuman strength, durability, and stamina. He's even got superhuman metabolism and a healing factor, which has come in super handy from time to time. When he wants to, A-Train has the ability to literally one-shot people, effortlessly kill supes. He can even reach near the speed of light and dodge beams of light. The guy has serious potential. It felt like all of Season 4 was building up to a showdown between Homelander and A-Train, but I guess that might just have to wait for Season 5. In Season 2, we're introduced to Congresswoman Victoria Newman, an outspoken opponent of Vought. Now, first we think that there's a champion for the good guys, only to find out that Victoria is in fact a supe herself. Not just that, but she's the adoptive daughter of Vought CEO Stan Edgar. So not necessarily a champion for the good guys. And Newman is scary powerful. She's got the ability of molecular combustion, meaning that she can psychically influence the pressure and speed of molecules to the point of combustion. And she usually does this to pop some heads or blow some minds. Let me tell you, Sister Sage was very, very hard to rank on this list, because it looks like Sage has no signature superpowers that all other supes have, like super strength or super durability or anything like that. A simple bullet is enough to put her out of commission. Of course, she does have a great healing factor, so that definitely helps her case, but the healing factor is also pretty much solely limited to her head. Basically, in an actual fight, well, Sister Sage will lose, and she'd be the first one to tell you that. But what Sage does have going for her is that she's literally the smartest person in the entire world. She could cure cancer and end global warming and bring about world peace if she wanted to. She actually already has cured cancer before, but she doesn't really care to spend her time doing all that, and instead helped Homelander take over the United States. To her, it was just one giant game, just a mental exercise to see if she could do it. And basically everyone was putty in her hands and everything went according to her plan. Even when it looked like it all went haywire, Homelander kicked her out of the 7, the assassin failed to kill the president, well, it was still all going along with Sage's plan. So that's why Sister Sage is so hard to rank here, because she would lose a fight to almost anyone, but she's also smart enough to take over the entire world in an afternoon if she wanted to. So I think meeting in the middle and putting her here is a fair spot. We haven't been able to see a whole lot of Cindy, but she still managed to make quite the impression. She was a test patient at Sage Grove Center before her escape and possesses some extremely powerful telekinetic abilities, meaning she can easily destroy objects with her mind or even cause people to implode. She showed off some amazing strength during Stormfront's attack on the center and could possibly be powerful enough to beat supes like Homelander or Soldier Boy. Queen Maeve is the 7's answer to Wonder Woman, meaning that she's got superhuman strength, durability, agility, speed, stamina, reflexes, all of it. I mean, her introduction in the series, well, she was running alongside buildings and jumped directly into an armored truck. She didn't even flinch when it hit her. Maeve is also a highly trained hand-to-hand fighter, who's able to hold her own against Homelander. He's actually one of the only supes we've ever seen who's actually able to injure him too. She also fought against Stormfront and survived Soldier Boy's explosion. Her powers might be gone for now, but it's really possible that she comes back in the final season to take on Homelander one more time. Sam Reardon is the brother of Golden Boy, but instead of being loved and adored like his brother, well, he's kept away in the woods, where young supes are held captive and experimented on against their will. Sam has super strength. It's hinted that he's roughly as strong as the likes of Homelander, Soldier Boy, or Stormfront. It's also pretty close to invincible. However, what brings him down has to be his mental state. It's far from stable, so he's not someone who can be really relied on. Sam can hardly rely on himself sometimes. But after all he's been through, who can really blame him? Marie Moreau has made it her life's mission to join the Seven and become a superhero. And with powers like hers, she just might do it. There's some of the most unique powers that you'll ever see, even if it is a little disgusting. She's able to use her own blood as a weapon. While it's kinda like Victoria Newman's powers, Marie seems to be a whole lot more dangerous with her abilities. She can not only make weapons out of blood, but she can also heal others, and you can kinda imply that with her ability to control the blood of others, well, she could take out anyone in the world. With all her potential, Marie is easily one of the strongest characters in The Boys. Before his death, Golden Boy was the favorite at God U to become the newest member of the Seven. However, then Luke found out about the woods, and it ended with him committing suicide by burning himself to a crisp, after killing Brink to escape it. He's able to set himself on fire at will, manipulate the flames however he wants, and even fly and has superhuman strength, so some pretty impressive stuff. However, at the same time, since what we saw from him was kinda limited, a lot of his power has to be implied. But still, he was number one on the rankings, and everyone talked up a big game about how good and strong he was. So we really have no reason to believe they're lying, since he's held on to the top spot for so long during his time at Godolphin. Billy Butcher is the leader of the Boys, and while he doesn't usually have superpowers, he decided to start shooting up with temporary Compound V, giving him superpowers just like any other supe. While on Compound V, Butcher has superhuman strength to the point where he's strong enough to match up against Homelander. He's also able to shoot out powerful laser blasts from his eyes. Of course, that was only for a little while, and seriously messed Butcher up. It gave him cancer and tumors all over his body. But of course, it just so happens that those tumors are actually super tumors. And I don't know what's really going on with Butcher now. He's kinda like Venom. But I do know he's seriously powerful. He's probably still strong enough to challenge Homelander or Soldier Boy in a fight. Or he might have lost the heat vision. His new tendrils are powerful enough to almost instantly kill Victoria Newman, who up until that point had been one of the scariest supes out there. In Season 2, we meet Stormfront, and she quickly becomes Homelander's newest fling. However, little did he know that she was secretly a freaking Nazi and really sucked. And of course, that just made him love her even more. While she was really only around for just one season, Stormfront was incredibly powerful, with her main power being electrical manipulation. And with that, well, she can fly, she has telekinesis, and she can fire out some seriously powerful lightning blast. She's also got superhuman strength, durability, and a healing factor that allowed her to live over 100 years without barely showing any signs of aging. Ryan is one of the only natural-born supes and Homelander's son. We also know that he inherited a lot of power from dear old dad, even heat vision that was powerful enough to straight up destroy Stormfront with one blast, leaving her on the brink of death. Now Ryan is still just a kid who will get stronger over time, but even now, he can deal with some of the most powerful supes out there. And plus, it's still a little up in the air right now, but Ryan could very easily turn into the next Homelander, and he's definitely got the power to do it too. So that right there rightfully puts him here on the list. Soldier Boy was once the powerful leader of a vault superhero team, Payback. However, a lot like Captain America, he was cryogenically frozen for decades. But now he's back, and he's looking for revenge. While the boys originally thought they could use the same weapon that was used on Soldier Boy to get rid of Homelander, they quickly learned that Soldier Boy himself was the weapon. While Soldier Boy and Homelander share many of the same powers and abilities, Soldier Boy is Homelander's biological father, the one advantage he has over Homelander is that Soldier Boy is able to release energy blasts from his body that are so powerful it could disintegrate bodies and crumble buildings. On top of that, this blast is unique, that it actually depowers every supe who gets caught up in the blast as well. With this additional power, plus the strength and durability of Homelander himself, I think it's fair to say that Soldier Boy is one of the most powerful supes we've seen in the boys so far. Homelander is the powerhouse leader of the Seven, who also just happens to be a ruthless, narcissistic psychopath who is determined to be the world's most popular superhero. Of course, he has no problem killing innocent people in order to be the world's greatest hero, and requires complete control over every member of the Seven at all times. Homelander has extreme superhuman strength, speed, durability, and some nasty heat vision that he can blast out of his eyes. He's also believed to be the most genetically superior supe because of his extensive powers and the fact that he's the only supe able to have kids with powers. But while we once thought he was unbeatable, after season 3, when we saw the boys with the help of Queen Maeve and Soldier Boy, were almost able to put a stop to him once and for all. Still, Homelander remains. He's technically in charge of not just Vault, but the US government. He's become even more powerful and even more unhinged ever since. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.